idea was the Freestyle Kingz? How did that group originate?
I mean, so really, man, it wasn't, you know, for us it wasn't really a big deal, man. I think, and to be honest, I think somebody may have said it in one of the old freestyles, because the Freestyle Kingz group, man, it probably had 20 members originally. You know,
I never knew that.
Yeah,
wow.
Because if you go back and listen to the very first, I don't know if Bull even still put it out, but the very first original group, it was a whole bunch of guys, some local guys from Huntsville, where Sam, you know, where Sam is still located. It was some local guys, man. You know, shout out to my boy Bundy, and you know.
So were you a original member of the Freestyle Kingz?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what wound up happening over time is, like, again, this is before the business part came in. We created the name of Freestyle Kingz, but it wasn't an actual business. The Freestyle Kingz was just the rappers who rapped on Bull's mixtapes.
Okay.
And then as time, you know, as time gravitated, we wound up, you know, some people just stopped coming around, you know what I'm saying? And then you had the constant, you know what I'm saying, flow of the same guys, and then we wound up, you know, I'd say me and Bull on that way to that college party, you know, had a conversation, and my boy Rhino decided, like, you know, what if we just take it to another level? And then when the business entered into the whole thing of the music, you know, we took the ones who were still left and the ones who were consistent, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna do anything business-wise, you gotta be consistent. And so the group wound up, people just kind of started filtering themselves out if they didn't come around.
So
you
the
know
the Freestyle Kingz members that I know: Chalie Boy Tite.
Yeah.
We got Ake, Show, Red, Sir Coop, Big Rob the Rhino.
Yeah.
So, like, how did that group form? Because I think that's the most consistent group within the Freestyle Kingz, correct?
So yeah, so when the decision was made to make the Freestyle Kingz an actual group on the label Dirty Third, had to take the consistent guys who actually made a difference. And each one of us came at different times, because out of the original group, me and Rhino were the only two who came from the original group. Like, we had a couple other guys who were really good, but they just, you know, from the work ethic, they just didn't put in. You know what I'm saying? They kind of faded themselves out. And so then, you know, Chalie actually auditioned for the group when we were doing the CD. You know what I'm saying? And you know, rest his soul, my boy Bernard Gambrell, he had a CD shop, you know what I'm saying, back in Bryan. And he sent Chalie Boy up there actually when we was recording the CD. And, you know, he just literally showed up. We didn't even know he was coming. You know, and my boy showed up, man, and we played a beat, and he started singing, and we were like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, the only one singing was Big Mo. This was before Shasta and all the other guys came. It was just like Big Mo. And then Chalie came, it was like he went to church. You know what I'm saying? Like Mo, if you listen to Big Mo, Mo was a great crooner. Like, his voice was real, you know what I'm saying? It was really like, it was solid, but it was like, he sang at a really like a crooner, like, you know, Mo could sing a woman out of her panties, you know what I'm saying? Chalie came in and took it to church though, so it was different, and he rapped. Like Chalie, if he didn't sing, he could rap as good as anybody. If you listen to Chalie's words, the way he pushed it together, he could rap better as good as anybody. But the fact that he could sing and he was so creative, man, like, you know, we knew then. You know what I mean? We kind of gave him a hard time at first.
So he was,
you know
versatile.
What I'm saying? He's the versatile child. That's where that came from, because he could do anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, he came and auditioned for that CD, man. We like, hell yeah, we put him on it. And then, you know, and me and Bull talked about it, and, you know, and he was like, man, what you think? And I'm like, man, yeah.
For sure.
Like, anything that would make the group better, I was down for that.
For sure.
And I knew he was
the guy.
The last piece that we needed for what
last
we had.
piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. I thought though, and then we got that audition. We got that audition tape from Red. You know, he brought us. You know, he's like, man, I got a cousin, man. He played us that damn audition tape, and it was a little show. And his audition was the goddamn Dragging Through the River freestyle, and it was like, damn, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, man, he did that, bro, and it like, we knew then we had a complete group. We had a complete group of guys who could do any and everything. You know what I'm saying? And better, as good or as better than anybody that was out.
So like, the way I look at it, right? You had the Freestyle Kingz, Chalie Boy Tite, Those two stood out, and those two typically were to be on the same tracks. You paired them up rather nice.
So how it wound up happening, it wasn't planned, it was organic. Like,
right, okay.
Me and Chalie just had a work ethic, and we just had a compatibility with each other, man. That was just, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could give the whole group the same beats. Me and Chalie we did the whole damn CD at a time that it takes everybody else to get a verse or two on. And we picked that up, you know what I mean? And then we wound up, when Chalie came in the group, he moved in with me. You know what I mean? So me and Chalie were like living together.
Roommates.
Yeah, we became brothers, like literally. Like, we became brothers with another mother, you know what I mean? Like, he know my family, you know what I mean? I met his family, you know what I mean? And that's how it was. And so what wound up happening was, me and him were working so well together, and then, me, I understood, I saw how the youngsters, you know what I mean, which was Red Egg and Show, how they sounded. Like, what they brought was that energy, that funny shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, Show had the punchlines, Red had the energy, and Eight, man, he had the, you know what I'm saying, the lyrics, man, the delivery. Like, they worked well together. So that's what wound up happening was, you had the Wrecking Crew, who was the young guys, and then you had, me and Chalie, you know what I mean? And we were like just some old country boys, man. Like Chalie was, born and raised in the church, man, you know what I'm saying? And I had at the time that street story, and it worked well together because we grew up probably 20 minutes from each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just neighboring cities, you know what I'm saying? And never knew each other, but we understood the area, and our music, it exemplified that, man. Like, it just sounded real good together.
And for the people that don't know, man, like, Freestyle Kingz had it all. I was from Smithville, Texas, and we would drive 45 minutes easy to an hour to drive to Houston, to drive to Austin, to go to Music Mania, to buy this man's CDs. August 2K2, The Takeover. But in 2002, something changed, man. Off the Chain came.
Yeah.
That was your big moment as a Freestyle King member.
Yeah. So Off the Chain, man, in my opinion, and I've heard, other artists say this over the years.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Before Off the Chain, it was The Takeover came out. It had features from Youngster,
right,
50-50 Lil Twin,
Magno,
You Hurt. We had Slim Thug on there. We had several different
Zero.
Yeah. And so you had, at the time of like the Houston rap scene, you had the SUC members, the South Side members.
Yeah.
Then you had the North Side members, the Swisher House members.
Right.
And these two, they came together and they got on this project called The Takeover, Freestyle Kingz project. And that took off. That took off like crazy, man.
Yeah.
And that built the opportunity for Off the Chain.
Right. Well, let me go back and just for those who don't know, like, the history of it. So,
right.
The whole sound of Texas back then was Screw.
Right.
You know what I mean? And RP DJ Screw. So everybody knows the history of DJ Screw. So at the time, all Texas music was recognized for the Houston sound, which was Screw.
Right.
Which was everything slowed down, screwed and chopped.
Right.
So we knew we weren't, some of us, like, again, the youngsters, man, Red Egg Show, Ronald from Houston, me and Chalie weren't from Houston. We were within 45 minutes of Houston, though.
Sure.
So our influences musically were of Houston, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So what wound up happening was, back then you had the South Side and the North Side of Houston.
Rage versus Fades.
Yeah, they didn't really, it wasn't really a kosher thing, right?
100%.
And so what we wanted to do, we from, like, and this is why I give Bull credit, you know what I mean? Like, Bull understood, the strengths and the weaknesses of music in the Texas, arena. Right. So what we wanted to do with The Takeover, it was called The Takeover because we understood we had to do something different that nobody else had did. And so what we did was we took Swisher House, we took Screwed Up Click members and put them on our music together as one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We unified what wasn't unified at the time.
Right.
And we wound up releasing The Takeover, which that set the standard for Dirty Third Records and the Freestyle Kingz, man. That's what gave us notoriety. That's what gave us the street cred from the music's level.
Let motherfuckers know you were
for real. It was for real.
For sure.
Exactly. And that was like, Bull had a big vision, you know what I mean? And all of us were a part of it. And that was the beauty of it, because at the time you didn't really hear Screwed Up Clip members or
North
Swisher
side,
House
south
members.
side,
Like,
they
yeah,
completely
you know what I
opposite, they
mean?
completely
Exactly.
different, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that set the standard, man. And once we did that, you know, we had it went from us being unknowns to everybody knew us, respected us, and then me and Chalie wound up dropping the Best Of CD, which we got the idea from Jay-Z and R. Kelly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were like, well, you got, you know, the top rapper, the top singer, and like, you know, out of our group, that's what we felt like we needed to do.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And we dropped that, had that freestyle with Show on the first damn song, cause Show had just popped off. We like, man, we want to set this motherfucker off. So we put him on the first song and that shit. And it was like, bro, like, you know, it made the mark for me and Chalie's career, and it put Dirty Third itself on a whole other level of respect.
Lil Show's interesting, right?
Yeah.
He was the youngest in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, he brought punchlines. It was something. It was something that the group, I wouldn't necessarily say was lacking, but it made it also stand out. Like you listen to a track and it's just for people that don't know about the Freestyle Kingz, it's raw. It's not fucking filtered. It's going hard. And then you have Lil Show talking about Big Show, pissed off because I can choke slam too. That boy had some like dope ass fucking punchlines. He brought a certain energy to the track. Like
he made it fun.
He
like,
made it
Show
fun.
punchlines made you laugh, bro. Like that was the thing. He made you feel something. He made you laugh. So that was the beauty of him, and he was young. And so it's like even now in the music game, like the young kids are running it. You know what I'm saying? Because they give this different type of energy, man. And that's what Show and Rated 8, bro. But like with Show, it was like something nobody had really never heard. He rapped different. It wasn't off beat, but he found a different groove within the beat.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you listen to how he rapped, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like what it was Kelvin Harris for to showcase my skill. It's like it was a conversation he was having with you. But he was dropping these punchlines and was like, oh shit. Shit like that shit was crazy. But that was like his thing, you know what I'm saying? And that was a specialty that he brought to the group. And that's what I was saying earlier, like as a compilation of artists, we all had something that we brought that made us extremely strong.
For sure. So we went from the Freestyle Kingz as a group of 7-8 members, right? And then we started thinking about who fits well together. We have Chalie Boy and Tite fit well together. The chemistry's amazing, obviously, right? Then we have, you know, Sir Coop. We have Rhino. Then we have the younger group with the punchlines, with the different delivery, with the sass, with the swag. You know, they come up with the heat. They come together as the Wrecking Crew. We got 8. We got Red. We got Show. And then, of course, like I said, the Off the Chain album comes out.
Correct.
Big album. It's supposed to be like from mixtapes and rapping on other people's beats. Now it's we're gonna rap on our own beats. We're gonna have our own sound. We're gonna have our own CD. And then from there, it seems like something happened. I want you to explain to me like what happened after Off the Chain.
Well, I mean, one of them having them off the chains, like what happens in most groups, man. Like when you get popularity, fame, and things that didn't matter, like money coming to it, you get misunderstandings. And especially when you're young, like all of us at the time in our 20s who were young, fresh out of high school, you know what I'm saying? And so we never understood as artists, like the problem with artists even today is, you know, when you mix artistry with business, a lot of artists don't get the business, and we as artists didn't understand the business. And you know, again, those are my brothers, but it's the same thing that happened like with Swisher House, man. Same thing that happened with Color Changing Click. Same thing that happened with, you know what I'm saying, with when I got to Dallas, you know what I mean, with the whole T-Town thing. Like, you know, it was a little different, but it was still revolved around money, and money supports everything. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened with me, I'm a real loyal type of guy. And, you know, there was just an issue with the me and Chalie Boy brand and Dirty Third. And, you know what I'm saying? I took it a certain way. I guess it was taken a certain way, you know what I'm saying, with Bull and maybe Chalie at the time. But again, we're talking about years ago, we were all young, man, and looking back at it, it was shit that could have been handled with just a conversation, a peaceful conversation, you know, and it wasn't. And then I wound up, you know, coming to Dallas, you know, with George Lopez and T-Town, who had DSR, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of broke everything up, you know what I mean?
So Freestyle Kingz, based out of Huntsville, pretty much representing Houston, right? For Houston artists.
I mean, more than half the group is from Houston, right? And we're
so
from
then we transition to DSR. And for people listening right now that don't know, Houston rap and Dallas rap sound completely different, right? Like, and so like my question has always been, I'm glad to ask you right now, like, how's the transition? Because like from the Freestyle Kingz and the Screwed and Chopped and this, now you switching to the D-Town Boogie, now you switching to a different sound.
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that question because
there had to have been a transition.
And I'll say this, right?
As an artist, right?
And I'll start it out by saying this, like, you gotta understand, you know, my relationship with George and DSR was
George, the CEO of
George and Trinity D, yeah.
Right,
George and Trinity D, they were CEOs of T-Town Music, you know, they were, you know, covered the DSR.
Right.
And we met them because George had a CD shop, you know what I'm saying?
In Dallas.
In Pleasant Grove out in Dallas.
Right.
And I had a relationship with him because I used to sell him Freestyle Kingz CDs.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To put in the shop. And so what wound up happening, we had that relationship when I was going through my thing with Dirty Third, you know what I'm saying? You know, he really made me and Chalie Boy an offer, and then it turned out, you know, me leaving, and then I taking the offer.
I want to ask you about that too, because I'm reaching back in the vault, right? So like, Off the Chain happens.
Yeah.
Slim Thug's on the album.
Right.
It's a hit single. Things seem to be on the rise with the Freestyle Kingz. But then you go towards Dallas.
Right.
Like, what made you choose to go that route instead of staying with the Freestyle Kingz and the Houston movement? Because when you think of Texas rap as a whole, right?
Yeah.
San Antonio, there's a scene, right? Austin, there's a scene.
Right.
Dallas, there's a scene.
Yeah.
But the Dallas scene seems to be a little bit different than the Houston. And when you're looking like from Minnesota, Atlanta, Cali, you think of the Houston scene.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
the Screwed and Chopped is known for Texas. And you decide to go to Texas, right? You decide to go to Dallas. Like, what made you go to Dallas? Like, you mentioned George and DSR. Like, what made you sit there and think, you know what, this is a better fit?